Alright everybody, so in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the fighting style tier list that I've been making for the past week or so. Now, I want to preface this and go ahead and say I am not a PvP goat at this game. I don't really care about the PvP in this game. I don't really enjoy it that much. So I do want to preface that this is the tier list itself is for PvE. However, the PvP fighting styles that I know of that are good for PvP, I will mention. Like, I'm gonna point it out, but I want you guys to know that the tier list itself is bad. The tier list itself is not for PvE. It's for PvP. Wait, no, shit. It's for PvE. It's not for PvP. For example, in F tier, I have Jace. That's because for PvE, he sucks. But for PvP, he's amazing. But he's still going to be an F tier for this tier list. So this is the fighting bosses tier list. And how I found that out is through a couple different methods of testing. There was mainly three. I tested the damage. I tested the hits, the amount of hits. And then I tested how long it took for the combo, and I factored all three into my opinion. And then there's an additional fourth, which is of course was the A and or the left and right combo string, which is the best one for sling. So I've heard. And again, take any PvP knowledge with a hint of salt. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When it comes to PvP, sling is just one way you could technically fight. And I know it's the overarching meta or whatever, but in ranked, there's just a bunch of Friezas who one-shot you with a couple moves anyway. So I wouldn't really take the ranked seriously in this game, and that's not me being salty or me being mad. I think it's funny. I live streamed for hours playing ranked today, and genuinely, it was just really funny. When I ran into Friezas, and it was honestly there was one in particular that he's a fan of the channel too, which was cool to me, but he was very fun to fight regardless of the fact that he was probably the biggest cheeser I ran into. Well, not the biggest cheeser, but his definitely he definitely falls under the cheese category, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, anyway, now that the PvP drones are all gonna attack me in the comments, I'm sorry. Sumimasen do not like PvP very much. I will mention the good PvP fighting styles that I know of. Now, there's definitely more, and there's going to be a section in this video, probably near the end, where I'm going to explain and show how you can test a fighting style, whether it's good or not, so that way when future ones come out, or if you don't like where I placed your favorite fighting style, then you can go test it yourself and see what I mean when I rank them, right? So I will have a tutorial showcasing all that stuff, but basically for PvP in my findings, and I do have some backup from PvPers, so it's not just me who says that these are good ones. There are PvPers like Blaze the Flame helped me a little bit with this. Now I don't want to tie his name to this tier list, of course. I don't want to do that to him in case I end up being terribly wrong or anything, but Blaze is a pretty well-known PvPer in the community. Alright, so the good PvP fighting styles are Jace. I've heard is that's the one I hear the most, is really good. Jace, he has a really fast LR combo. Same with Super Saiyan 2 Goku, his LR combo is pretty good. I don't think it's as good as Jace's, but you know, Jace is the GOAT, I guess. And then Generic 5 is also very good. Now, I do want to point out all the generics in this tier list are all, you know, not here. That's because every last one of them is, terrible. All the female generics, all the normal generics are terrible. And I'm not even bothering putting, a picture up. Generic 5 is pretty good for PvP, though. But keep in mind, those three fighting styles in particular all do really low damage. So that's the trade-off, right? Is the speed of the combo, but poor damage. And then I would say the Z tier up here and the S tier are the opposite of that. These have very long combo strings and in turn do a lot of damage. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now the Z tier is ordered somewhat. Like, I do believe that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is the best PvE fighting style because it does the most amount of hits in the lowest time with the most damage, like as an average. Mercenary Tao is number 2 in that department. These two could honestly be like right here with each other. Like you could really take either or, especially considering Mercenary Tao you get from the very first mentor, and Gogeta you have to wish for the Dragon Balls in space to get his fighting style, the Super Saiyan 4 version. The other version, the Super Gogeta, is down here in A tier. It's not quite as good, but yeah, Mercenary Tao is a demon fighting style. And then 21, I actually had here before her buff in Z tier, and now that she's buffed, I still like her in Z tier, but I'm gonna have her slightly above Kid Buu. I don't know if hers is better than Kid Buu or not for sure. I haven't tested it enough, but from what I've seen, like her fighting style is very elite for PvE. So the 21 fighting style, that's one reason this has taken so long to get out, by the way. The 21 fighting style, I knew the Game Pass was coming. I couldn't say anything, really. So I just had to wait for the fighting style to come out. And by the way, like that's why I have 21 PNG up here, because I literally had to download this and add it to the tier list. So yeah. Then we have Kid Buu. Kid Buu's is really, really good, but unfortunately it's just way, way, way too long and too slow to to be as good as like Gogeta. Gogeta just is doing, like, of course Kid Buu does the most damage in one combo string, but that's the thing, is NPCs can vanish, and you're not really seeing, like, he realistically, he shouldn't really be in Z tier maybe for that, but like, he's potential man, basically. Like, he just has the potential to be great, and it's a similar thing with 21. Her combo string is long too, but I think 21's is better than Kid Buu's in that regard, at least. Has more upside than Kid Buu's. Next up is Raisin and not Meta Matcha. Raisin. Oh shoot, what's his name? Crap. I'm such a fraud. Lacasay. Sorry. Lacasay and Raisin. So, Lacasay, his stamina break was bugging you initially, but I believe that's fixed now. So they're basically the same fighting style now, and they both have lots of hits really quickly and do good damage. So they're both pretty damn good for PvE. Same with Meta Matcha, same with Chaozu. So these four are all very silly characters to be here, and it's because of how they animated the fighting... Excuse me. It's how they animated the fighting style to be goofy, but it gave it more hits, and so it made it better. That's all for Chaozu, for Meta Matcha, for all these four. That's how it works, basically. And then Shallots is also very good, for PvE. Shallots is a pretty long combo string that does decent damage, and it's pretty fast, actually. Shallots might be above, you know, Chaozu's, give or take. I don't know. I think I did testing for it, and there's a reason Chaozu is ahead of him. So Chaozu's might be a little bit better than Shallots, but I mean, to be completely honest, Mercenary Tao is infinitely better than all of them. So like, just pick Mercenary Tao at the start of the game if you're going for the best fighting style. Now, the reason I made a tier list instead of just saying what the best fighting style is in a video is because I want people to have choices. Because like, I got tired of playing as Mercenary Tao's fighting style because it's really boring to look at after a while. Like, it's just a bunch of bullet punches, which makes it really good, and it's really fun to just kill all the bosses right away. But like, I just wanted variety, personally. Like, I want to have the most variety as I possibly can, and so like this tier list, more than anyone else, for me, for when I replay the game and want to choose a different fighting style. Noms is down here in S tier. Now, a lot of people thought Noms was like the best for the longest time, and that might I might play a big part in that. Might be due to me being one of the big, like, talkers for Nom, especially early on. But, I mean, back then, like, that's what we knew was, like, the best. But I guess Mercenary Tao was probably better the whole time anyway, funnily enough. But yeah, Knobs is still really good. It's just an S tier. It's outclassed by the Z tier. And then all these fighting styles should be just about as good as Knobs. This is Angela. If you don't know the names of the characters, I'll go ahead and say them. This is Angela. This is Beto. This is obviously Lord Chilled. You should know everyone else. Hachiak. Master Roshi, if you couldn't tell. And then obviously like Zangya and Bojack over here. This is Android 14. This is Cacao with a C. Let me see. I believe this is either 2B or the other one. If you look up Lord Chill's Kabira, I don't know which one is 2B and which one is Kabira, but that's these two. And then this is Wings. Yajirobe, of course. This is Zern. This is either again 2B or Kabira. This is Naze, I'm pretty sure. This is Tambourine. I don't know who that is. I completely forgot. I'm sorry. I do have a live stream where I rank them one by one, by the way, if you want to go check it out. Maybe I'll link the live stream in the description of me ranking them. But I did do it over 2. So maybe I'll link them. I'll have to find them both and link them. But you'll be able to see, like, and obviously, like, F tier, like, Super Saiyan 2, Goku, and Jace. Again, they suck for PvE, but they are great for PvP. I want to throw that out there. I'm not comfortable mentioning any other, like, fighting styles, whether they're good for PvP or not. I could throw in, like, a couple, like, Hachiak is decent, Turles is decent, King Vegeta, Garlic Jr. maybe, Android 14 maybe, Goldo maybe, like, maybe King Piccolo. Like, those are a few that I can say, like, maybe they're good for PvP, and just because that's in my notes that, like, their LR string was a little fast, that's about it. That's all I can really recommend. Is there anything else to really mention here? I mean, well, Birder, I suppose. So Birder's fighting style is obviously really good if you're a Tuffle in PvP, because it just steals the most stamina really quickly. But I mean, I guess most fighting styles steal it really quickly as a Tuffle. Tuffles are really broken in PvP. So that's one thing to mention with Birder. But and then the other thing, of course, is for Form Mastery. Form Mastery for Birder is like just, you know, the obvious go-to, and then training in the Time Chamber as well. You want to use Birder; it's the fastest. Ironically enough. And then, yeah, I mean, not much else to say, really. In my opinion, these are the top 3 fighting styles in the game. If you want to put Kid Buu over 21, sure. I have 21 there, call it bias or whatever. Maybe it's recency bias, if anything. But I do believe her fighting style is that good. I do have to test it a little bit more, though, of course. And then, yeah, not too much to say. Personally, I'm a little disappointed that Gogeta and Vegeto's is so far down. I don't even think they're really good for PvP either, unfortunately. I was kind of disappointed with Gohan. All the Gohans seem to have pretty bad fighting styles, unfortunately. Not much else to say about that. Piccolo's is good, though, at least. Chi-Chi is really one that surprised me. Chi-Chi and Zangya have really good fighting styles. I believe Zangya's isn't even bad for PvP either. And then if you're wondering why Gero is down here, I actually just don't have access to his fighting style on my Saiyan. I don't know why. I've trained with him, and I went to talk to him again, I just don't have it. So I don't... Some people claim that it's in the game. I'm assuming it's in the game, because whoever made the tier list put him here. But I can't rank him. He's the only fighting style I really can't rank. And then there was 2 Mercenary Taos for some reason, which is why there's, you know, another Mercenary Tao down here, but... this is the Mercenary Tao picture I chose. Just to reiterate, this is a PvE tier list. The ones that are good for PvP are like Jace, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, Generic 5. Like, those are the big ones, I will say. Just cut into the footage of me explaining how you can test out your own fighting styles, basically, and rank your own fighting styles and find one that you like the most. Even though for PvE, I will say, like, this is... Like, there might be a couple hiccups from when I had first started doing it, but, like, near the end, I got very confident in my rankings, so these absolutely, I believe, are the best fighting styles. I don't think any of them went under the radar. So for PvE and grinding up bosses, I especially for the start of the game, I recommend you get Mercenary Tau. Amazing. And then for endgame, Gogeta. Gogeta just to me seems slightly better. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. Just, again, anything in A tier or above, or probably more so S tier. Like, A tier is okay, but S tier and above is like pretty damn good for PvE. Like, you won't really need better. You're not sabotaging yourself. I feel like if you go below B, you're sabotaging yourself, basically, like with PvE. But yeah, that's about it. Just cut to the footage of me explaining how to rank your own fighting styles.